All right, now the curtain raiser there on your program this morning on ITV. Beautiful Wednesday morning to you, and it's a good one that you made it through. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning on ITV. My name is Evan Sunohogi, and you're welcome to the show. Well, it's a good one that universities are giving admissions to our children and our wards as it stands now, because almost all tertiary institutions of the country, state-owned tertiary institutions, and the federal government, owned tertiary institutions are giving admission to our children. But there is something that parents are just concerned about. I mean, the exorbitance and the very high rates of acceptance fee. That's what it's called. It's it's a major concern for parents. I mean, like for example, the University of Benin. We understand that as at the last session, it was between 60,000 and 80,000. But right now, it's between 120,000 and of course 125,000, as the case may be. That's one major problem on one side, and another one is the fact that this seeming lack of synergy between examination bodies in Nigeria. I mean, take for example, an applicant that has applied for a certain program at the university, and the university has graciously granted the applicant the admission. Then, during clearance, the child has to be providing statements of results, original certificates, and all that. The physical, the hard copy. And spending money. I mean, one would have expected that since they are agencies of the government. Take for example, the Joint Admission and Matriculations Board, and of course tertiary institution. These are agencies. These are governmental organizations. One would have thought that it only take these two bodies to synergize in terms of making reference on the certificates or the results that such an applicant, is bringing. But the way it is now, it is the children, it is the wards, the applicants of various, discipline in various schools that we now go and fetch. And these children are spending money. I mean, take for example, you have to print JAMB result sheets or JAMB admission form for almost about 7,000 naira. I mean, it's a big one. Anyway, I'm not alone on this program. I've got my co-anchors right there. I have Inolata Nusaka here with me in Benin, and you're going to be seeing him later on the corporate, training section. Then, of course, I've got my co-anchors in Lagos. Joshua Okata is right there, and Tulokbe Oguntumehe is also right there in Abuja. Well, Joshua, I don't know. Okay, Joshua is not ready now. When it's ready, we'll get to see him as the program goes on. So you see that what we're talking about is a major concern. Now, when we bring issues on our television, also on our radio, it is not because we just want to complain. I mean, we see ourselves, at independent radio and television, at a kind of a bridge, a bridger, if you like to say that. We stand in between the gap between the society and, of course, between the government, because there is huge amounts of complaint right now in admission process and all that. As we speak now, most students are going through their clearance process and all that, and the hardship they are facing. I mean, you pay acceptance fee of over 120,000 naira. Then, of course, you go about to pay 7,000 naira for your joint admissions statement of result. Then also the admission, letter. I mean, it is a huge one. Accommodation is not there yet. Feeding is not there yet, and all that. So I think the authorities involved should also, look into this issue. Because come to think of it, I mean, a child that enrolled for an examination and he paid the enrollment fees and all that, it is only natural that at the end of the day, such examination body ought to grant that child the result. I mean, it is his or her own right. But in a situation whereby it is now expected for such a child to pay another some amount of money to get the statement of results, get the admission letter, or to get the certification, this is not a good one at all. So I think the bodies involved now should begin to look into this whole matter as the program, I don't want to call it a program now, is a case, as the problem is going on in our country. All right, like I said, one more time, my name is Evan Sunokuge. So we'll take a short pause now, and we'll join the business trainer himself, the corporate trainer in Orata Nusakai. And when we come back, we're going to be doing some other things on the program this morning on RTV. Please stay tuned.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV.
Inuarata no Sahai is still by Ami Ebone, and I'm delighted to come your way this morning on this segment of the program to make your day a premium value one. On our soft skills series this morning, the focus is 4 powerful ways soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. 4 powerful ways soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. Now, customer service, internal customer service, is the support and assistance that employees of a business or employees of an organization give to themselves. Internal customer service is the support and assistance that the different divisions, the different departments of a business or an organization give to themselves. So, which means that internal customer service is customer service to your colleagues. Very, very important. We are looking at 4 powerful ways soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. Internal customer service is customer service to your colleagues. For example, if you look at the hospital setting, the doctor, depends on the laboratory scientists to carry out diagnostic investigation, which will enable the doctor, to make decision on treating the patient. So that makes the laboratory scientist an internal customer, to the doctor. So the doctor needs to give the laboratory scientist internal customer service. You need to render customer service to the laboratory scientist. Your internal customers are people you depend on in the workplace to do their job so that you can do your job. Your internal customers are people in the workplace that depends on you also to do your job so that they can do their job. In a broadcasting station like independent television, for example, the anchormen, the presenters depend on the cameramen, they depend on the presentation directors to do their jobs so that the anchor people, the presenters, can also do their job. Then the presentation director depends on the studio engineer to do their job so that he can also do his job. So the presentation director and the cameraman, they are internal customers to the anchor people, to the presenters, and then the studio engineer, they are also internal customers to the presentation director. Even the cameramen as well, they are also internal customers to the presentation director. So the presentation director needs to give customer service to the cameraman and studio engineer. The anchor people, the presenters, need to render internal customer service to the presentation director and the camera. That is internal customer service. And like I said this morning, we are looking at 4 powerful ways soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. And the number 1 powerful way that soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture is through the soft skill of respectful communication. When workers of an organization talk to themselves, communicate with themselves, with respect, with clarity, with empathy and active listening, there's going to be that fluid collaboration, there's going to be that, unhindered communication, which will help them to better render support and assistance to one another. And in that way, there is a strengthening of internal customer service culture. The second powerful way that soft skills drive internal customer service culture is through the soft skill of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is your ability to ensure emotional stability in the workplace through the knowledge of how to manage your emotions and also manage the emotions of your colleague. I'll take that again. Emotional intelligence is the ability, to ensure workplace emotional stability through the knowledge of how to manage your personal emotions and also manage the emotions of your colleagues. Now, as an employee that is emotionally intelligent, when, there are work pressure, you don't respond based on the pressure. You don't respond based on negative emotion. You don't allow emotion to influence your decision and your action. And in that process, you give better internal customer service to your colleagues. And this is one very strategic and key way that soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. Now, the 4th way that soft skill strengthen internal customer service culture is through teamwork, through the soft skill of teamwork. Very, very important. Through the soft skill of teamwork. Now, the soft skill of teamwork ensures that there is collaboration. There is fluid collaboration in the system. And when there is fluid collaboration in the system, every team members, every workers, or every employees see themselves as partners. And when they see themselves as partners, they talk to each other with respect, irrespective of their titles, irrespective of their ranks, irrespective of their academic qualification. They talk to one another with respect. And that atmosphere of respect ensures that they better render support and assistance to one another, which is internal customer service. And so as a result of that, the soft skill of teamwork strengthens internal customer service culture. The concluding one, which is the last one, we are looking at 4 powerful ways that soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. The first one, I said, through respectful communication. The soft skill of respectful communication. The second one said it's through the soft skill of emotional intelligence. The third one through the soft skill of teamwork. And the last one is through the soft skill of conflict resolution. Now, when team members possess the soft skill of conflict resolution, it means that they will be able to resolve disharmony, resolve conflicts, resolve issues in the workplace harmoniously. An harmonious resolving of conflict, harmonious resolving of disagreement means that better support and assistance will be given to one another, thereby strengthening internal customer service culture. And the beautiful thing about strong internal customer service culture in any business organization is that it improves external customer service experience. External customers are those customers that bring their money to buy your product and engage your service. When there is strong internal customer service culture, it improves, it ripples down to improving external customer service experience. And that means at the end of the day, the loyalty of external customers are secured. We are looking at 4 powerful ways soft skills strengthen internal customer service culture. As a way of review, I said through the soft skill of respectful communication, through the soft skill of emotional intelligence, through the soft skill of teamwork, and through the soft skills of conflict resolution. I believe that lots of value have been added to you today. I know you want to feed your questions across, your inquiries across. Just do that through my email, inuagata@gmail.com. It's right there on the screen. If you remember my surname, Inuagata, just add @gmail.com. Inuagata@gmail.com. Send your inquiries, send your questions, and then I provide the needed answer to you. And then we are able to build a better workplace, a better organization for you, and then also build a better business environment for our nation and the world in general. I'll be seeing you next week, Wednesday. And when I return, I'll remain the amiable Inuagata no Sahai. Your day is so blessed. Thank you.
ITV. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
All right, thank you one more time. The program's still on your television this morning on ITV. Yeah, Michael Uncle Joshua Ukata is right there in Lagos. Joshua, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Evans. Good to see you on the morning show this morning. Of course, I have with me as my co-anchor right here in Lagos, Patricia Gabriel Pat.
Good morning, Josh, and good morning, Evans. How's Benin doing this morning?
So it's fine, except the fact that,
right.
like what I started with this morning here in Benin, particularly the University of Benin, whereby students, applicants are going through admission process into various disciplines in the school. Now, reactions are already trailing at the increased acceptance fee. 120, 125,000, that applicants are paying as acceptance fee into University of Benin. Then that is not even enough. Another one is the fact that, the child goes for a statement of result with the Joint Admission and Matriculations Board, admission letters. The child will have to pay to the tune of about 4,000 or 5,000. Now, the big question that we ask is there no synergy between examination body or among examination body in Nigeria or among these examination bodies and, of course, tertiary institutions in the country? Since the certificates are online, it wouldn't have just taken the efforts of these two bodies to synergize instead of asking the applicant to bring, to go through all those worries and all that. So that's a major concern.
Of course, it is a major concern for anyone who might have gone through that process or having, a child who might be undertaking such process. Talking about the issue of acceptance fee, it's quite disheartening to see that one has to pay that much, just to gain admission into the university. And of course, given the fact that we've seen, several, universities, according to, sources, these universities, when it comes to acceptance fee, vary from university to university. Of course, in Uniben, the average you would pay ranges from between 60,000 and, of course, 80,000 as the case may be. It might even be more depending on who you are actually, interfacing with as the case may be. And, of course, not just Uniben alone. We have AIMSU paying as much as 70,000. It might even be more, depending on whom you're interfacing with, like I said. And of course, we have Ojuku's university. I'm talking about Chukwuemeka Odumegu's university. Right there, we're having about 127 to about 187,000 plus when it comes to acceptance fee. And given research, we've seen that the reason for this ugly trend as it may be is as a result of the fact that there are certain courses you might want to undertake that might require you paying such amount. We're looking at medicine and engineering. I don't know about other courses, but of course for engineering and medicine, for these particular universities, you've got to pay this much, for you to be able to get into the universities. And of course, the factors that are associated with these ranges from the institution type. We have the program of study, which I just mentioned, and of course the year of admission. All of these, are usually factored in when it comes to admission fees, especially for those who are coming into the university. But maybe Pat might want to have one or two to say as regards, such acceptance fee that universities are always requiring from their entrance.
Okay, thank you, Josh. You've spoken a lot about acceptance fee. And then my concern is the acceptance fee, is it part of the school fees or is just, I don't know, the universities are just taking that money? Or because I know some schools, maybe I should mention name here, the Nigerian Institute of Journalism takes acceptance fee, I think about 50 or 60,000, but they will write to you and say it's part of the school fees. So when you're admitted, you will be paying inclusive, you add some money to that for your school fees. So I do not understand with this University of Benin and the universities that you've mentioned, if it's part of their school fees or it's just what kind of money the investor is taking. And if it is so, what do they want to do with the money? What course is the money channeling into?
You know, just as I said, it depends on the particular course you are going for, which will require you paying such huge amount when it comes to the admission fee. Like for engineering and medicine, perhaps that could be the basis for it, and other factors that I mentioned earlier. But I don't know if that will be inclusive with the other packages that will be required of you. But just as Evan said, there should be some level of synergy to make it even easier for
parents.
Yeah.
I mean, because going with the economy now, you know, you're paying 120. Evans mentioned 120.
Yes.
You're paying 120,000 for just acceptance fee. How are you going to go about the accommodation? Accommodation is very expensive now, and you know it's not
materials
even
that you're also going to require.
The books and everything. You know, I have someone who said the son is studying in Jos, and he has to come back home for some holiday. The ticket, at least I think Christmas holiday, the ticket to bring him back from Jos, flight ticket, was going to cost him $350. I mean, because of the insecurity,
of course,
the child would have gone through the road, but because of the insecurity, he has to fly, and that's $350 to bring him for Christmas holidays.
So it even underscores the importance as to why the federal government needs to look into this issue, because given what you just said, on a normal day, one would have to ply the road, perhaps either through train or maybe, you know, bus transport to situate. But then one cannot just put his or her children
with
in
the
such kind of risk. And you can imagine somebody struggling to pay such amount of school fees, trying to cater for transport fare. It's going to be very cumbersome. And I think at this point, some of these units need to put a human face to this situation. That's me. Evans, over.
Thank you so much, Joshua. Well, by a way of correction there, the acceptance fee, just like Joshua was trying to say, at Uniben as it stands now, is no more 70,000 or 80,000 naira. It ranges from 122,000 naira. I mean, science-based has its own, and of course, non-science-based, department discipline programs, they also have their own. It is not the school fees. The school fees is separate. Now, the acceptance fees has been increased. There's no doubt that the school fees is going to be increased too. And then we also understand that all the departmental levies and all that faculty levies and all that they are also going to be increased. So it's a major concern, you know, for parents as the admission process is going on. We also have Abuja. Tolu Lokbe is also there. Now, Tolu, a very good morning to you. Now, please quickly shed light on this acceptance fee non-synergy among universities and, of course, examination bodies in the country.
Really sad, really what is happening right there. For me, I think it's kind of exploitation, taking advantage of parents, especially when we are trying to talk about the fact that we are trying to reduce the cost of education right there, to make it accessible for an average Nigerian. When you put into consideration the current salary scale or minimum wage, you can understand that it may be quite difficult for parents to even meet up with the normal school fees. Not to talk about now paying exorbitant fees for acceptance fee. Even to receive your JAMB letter, you also have to pay a certain sum of money. According to information, you also have the fact that for you to get your admission letter, you need to pay from JAMB. It's 1,000 naira. Then when you go through those two agencies, business centers, you are paying close to 7,000 naira. And I remember vividly way back then, admission letter at times comes to you at home. They will be sent to you by from JAMB office straight to your house through your post office box, or probably with the advancement of technology, you can also be able to receive your JAMB admission letter through email. So I don't understand why you have to pay even to JAMB 1,000 naira to receive your admission letter. Now, when you cannot get it through JAMB, you are going through all those business agencies. You are paying close to 7,000 naira for that, and that's really sad right there. Besides the acceptance fee, even when you put into consideration the UTME that you have to, the JAMB post JAMB test that you have to pay for you to be able to sit for it, that one is also there. So you look at all the bureaucracy that you have to go through before you enter the university. These are crazy fees that shouldn't be there. Even with the consideration of the federal government making available the NER fund student loan scheme, and all those provisions Are they being made in the student loan scheme? Definitely no. So those are some of the administrative bottlenecks that must be looked at by federal government, and I think the National Assembly should take a critical look at this. These are some of the things we are talking about. The people at the National Assembly should be able to feel the pulse of the people and also look at how can we be able to ameliorate the condition and average Nigeria to make life better for them. These are some of the things we want them to sit on, to deliberate on, to put an end to this. I know there has been a recent issues between National Assembly and also JAM over some certain things right there. And I think this must be dealt with decisively. It's really sad that parents have to pay through their nose beside the school fees. You know, at times, some of the federal university, they'll tell you the school fee is just 100,000 naira, but you have to pay for facility fee of close to 800,000 naira. These are some of the things you experience in the public institutions. And it's really sad because, talk about, at the end of the day, school fees is just 100,000 naira. That shouldn't be difficult for any parents to pay with the current state of things in Nigeria. What about the facilities fee? What about the hostel accommodation that you pay for, that you have to pay through your nose? These are some of the things that takes this thing to a different level entirely. And I feel so sad about it. And I think the federal government should take a critical look at this. The National Assembly should take a critical look at this. And they should call JAM to order. It's really sad. I'm not really happy about it, Evans, I must tell you.
So much, not just JAMB alone. We understand that the West African Examination Council is not left out of this now. Now, to print the original certificates of your child, a CBT center personally told me that WAEC charges them as much as 15,000 naira. So if WAEC charges 15,000 naira, well, that remains to be confirmed. I take that as an allegation. But if WAEC charges as much as 15,000 naira to get the original copy of the certificate, I mean, how much will the CBT center now charge the parents? You see the way the whole thing is just done. It's very, very appalling. So just like what Tolokwe said, we are using this opportunity to call on relevant agencies involved to please look into this matter, because parents are really, really, you know, they are going through excruciating, you know, issues concerning this. I mean, the child must go to school, the child must, you know, further in life and all that, and the opportunity given, and the cost of, you know, taking a child to school is just, you know, breathtaking. Anyway, let's come off that now so that we'll take the paper review segment, and immediately after that, we'll come back to Benin, and we're going to be having the new chairman of IPMAN, that's the Independent Marketers Association Marketers of Petroleum in Edo State, the person of Mr. Godwin Iwama. Now, we're going to be talking about the 15% tariff for import duty for petroleum and for petrol and diesel into the country. Let's quickly take a short pause now so that we'll join Joshua on the paper review segment. Quickly.
All right, welcome back from that quick intermission there. And of course, it's about time for us now to feel the pulse of them that will remain through headlines. I'm doing this as a part and going there with. Of course, list of newspapers, we have Vanguard, which will be on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. We have, looking at the issue of the declaration by the U.S. President Trump, and of course the reaction from China, who is a partner or ally to Nigeria. And it says, why we reject U.S. threat on Nigeria. You can find details of that story on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And of course we have a rider, or a couple of riders. It says, U.S. lawmakers blast Trump, says threatening military action against Nigeria irresponsible. Now we have Nigeria. Okay, we have religious extremists exploiting to divide Nigeria. Federal government raises alarm, insists no genocide against Christians. Senate to discuss Trump comment with executive arm. Then we have genocide claim divisive, dangerous for region's cohesion. That's coming from ECOWAS. And of course, we have other stories at the top strip on the left corner on alleged terrorism. I have no case to answer. Let me go. And that's coming from the indigenous leader of Biafra. I'm talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You can find details of that story on page 11. And on industrial strike, we have met ASU's demand, and that's coming from federal government. Details on page 8. And of course, we have court clears PDP to hold national convention in Ibadan. The writer to that story petitioned the over of Secretariat. Details on page 9. And at the top strip there still, we have top banks record 4.1 trillion naira profit in 9 months. Details on page 19. Let's talk about this issue of China rejecting the threat, the so-called threat, you know, from U.S. against Nigeria. What's your take as regards that?
Well, Nigeria is the home of China. This is where most of their business are, you know, here in Nigeria. And then I do not think it will be of their interest if America comes here to destabilize Nigeria, as it were. You know, so for them to reject it, it's for their own personal interest too.
Of course.
Yes, because they have a lot of businesses.
I'm talking
here.
about road project, railway projects, serious infrastructures going on here.
You know, so I don't think they want to allow that to happen, truly.
Okay. Now let's see other stories of interest. We have Obaseki Carpets, Okpeholo denies 600 billion naira debt, others. Details on page 12. And of course, on budget deficit, Tinubu seeks fresh 1.15 trillion naira domestic loan as debt hits 152 trillion naira. Details on page 20. The issue is, for how long are we going to be on this journey of
Josh,
borrowing, borrowing, and borrowing?
You know, I was going to ask you that question. Aren't we tired of borrowing? And then what projects are this money that are borrowed being put into? Because we are not seeing any projects, major projects yet, and we keep borrowing. What are the money used for?
Of course, even if they try to justify that, well, some of these monies borrowed are for, you know, critical infrastructures, looking at the immediate benefits, even if most of these projects, in terms of the benefit, might come in the long term.
In the long term.
What are the immediate benefits that Nigerians should be receiving, so as to make them feel that, okay, while we're going through, they're looking at a time where we start experiencing much of this benefit, but to a large extent, it has not trickled down on the living standards.
That's asks. We really need it when.
Of course, there were very critical structures like sports,
road not been Josh. Bad not been maintained and have not been repaired. Let's take example the Saple road.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the accident that happened there. You know, I see all that. Road is terrible. So if monies are borrowed to repair these roads, we will be seeing it fit from it.
True, true. Let's make progress. We have
the Nigeria, and at the top of the Nigeria Tribune, we have court orders PDP Dagume to proceed with November 15th, 16th convention. It directs INEC to attend and monitor proceedings. This you can find on page 4. And of course, the Trump threats. We have Trump threats, China, EU, ECOWAS back Nigeria. This you can find on page 3. We talked about it earlier.
Of course.
And then we have court gives Nnamdi Kanu till today to defend terrorism charges. And you can find this on page 16. Police deploys 60,000 security personnel for Anambra election. This also you can find on page 2. And then CBN to raise 650 billion naira in first November Treasury bill auction. This you can find in page 5. DSS dismisses 115 personnel. You can find this on page 16. And then let's talk health. You can find this on page 2, walking, swimming, cycling, best exercise to ease nail arthritis. You can find that on page 2. Okay, Josh.
Yeah, let's look at the issue of police deploying 60,000 security personnel for Anambra election alone. I mean, let's look at it. How many police personnel do we have as right about now that looks into their security issues across the nation? We have less than 500,000. So if you're deploying just 60,000 to a particular state.
Say just.
I mean, going by what we have here, 60,000. All right, so 60,000 is a lot.
Yes, that's a lot.
Now, how many will be left to cater to the needs of other states? And I'm talking about states, you know, with local government that are as big, like Lagos, for instance. So how many would you have that will be able to look into security issues if you have this number going to, you know, Anambra? The question is, for what purpose?
Do we need such amount of numbers of policemen to go? Front? Exactly.
So why do we need such number? In developed societies, we see people cast their ballot through emails.
Yes.
So what's happened if we introduce that system?
Okay, was there a flat that's going to be picked up in the Cantel?
We always hear of flashpoints. It has always been the issue when it comes to election period. So we're not new to that. Nigeria is not immune to that. But the question is it a war situation that you have to deploy such number of police force
60
to
is
that
a lot.
particular area?
60 is a lot.
60,000
60,000 is a lot.
Not exactly.
Is a lot.
We're not even looking at the logistics involved. Right? Because obviously there are a lot of issues that will be looked into. The allowances and all. And of course, the vehicular movement to that place,
yes.
the filling of the vehicles and all of that. At what?
Okay, so Josh, let me quickly ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think these policemen are drafted from the states around Anambra State? And if that is, what happens to the security of these states where they are drafted from?
I think the IGP needs to answer to these questions because I don't know where they'll be drafted from, if it's going to be from within the state or from outside the state. But of course, as you know, they say crime is local. So if you need to understand how to be able to curb crime and secure the lives of people, you bring police, you know, personnel from within the communities and within the state so that they better understand the terrain proper to be able to, you know, secure the state. But I'm saying, why do you have to deploy 60,000?
60,000.
It's quite much.
Does the state has up to 60,000 policemen?
I doubt.
Okay.
I doubt. So it might mean that they may be drafting more from other states.
The other states.
Just for support. But let's look at other newspaper headline. We have the Nation newspaper, and on the front headline we have, still on the Trump against the Nigerian issue of CPC. I mean, talking about country of particular concern. Federal government says Nigeria will come out stronger from the CPC label crisis. Of course, a lot of people do not know why this designation, as it were given on Nigeria. You know, it's an international law.
Yeah.
So when you see issues of this nature, it's usually the president who issues such directive or declaration, and usually come through the office of the secretary. And to a large extent, it's as a result of the fact that if Nigeria is not engaged directly, perhaps they may have been able to neglect some security issues that would have bordered on the violation of one's fundamental rights to be able to express themselves religiously. So that might be the issue of this declaration. And I don't know for how long this label
is going to be on Nigeria.
And of course, when you know that the issue of security is taken seriously is when you're not seeing foreign investment coming into the country. To understand that nobody invests whatever they have in a country that is going through some sort of security issues.
Yes.
So it's really a very, very serious label or badge that Nigeria is carrying right now, to be labeled as a country that violates the right of a certain religious group.
I would have loved to hear from you to know if the way Nigeria is going to go about it will help us come out of that label.
Some people are saying that, is it not high time the president, I mean Bola Ahmed Tinubu, start making appointments, especially with those who are ambassadors to our countries, to other countries, to be able to push out policies to make the whole world understand that we are not what we've been tagged. I think that will go a long way to create some level of positive image, to the country, as it were. But of course, we know that time is on our side. So let's see one other that we can, in terms of
accessing it to fresh 1.15 trillion loan. And then Nigeria's security fight stifled by disunity, says ex-army chief. I mean, if we can take one more, court clears PDP to hold national convention in Iban. And then option insurance industry may cut jobs by half. This is not good. Good for
that money, you still want to but you so much. Of course, the pension will be going big surprise.
ITV, certainly the best. TV, certainly the best.
All right, thank you one more time. The program's still on your television, independent TV here in Benin City, our Benin Network Center. And the next few minutes, we're going to be looking at a policy in Nigeria now that seems to be very new, but little wonder whether the policy has actually begun. Now, about some few days ago, Nigerians were greeted with the news that the federal government is going to introduce a 15% import duty for petrol and diesel, to be specific. Now, naturally, Nigerians will react, and of course, the reactions are still going on. So, on this program today, we're going to be looking at how the weight is going to be on, Nigerians, as it were, and whether it's going to impact on Nigerians positively, and also the kind of impact it's going to be having on the refineries. Because what the federal government is saying is that this is going to enable local refineries in the country, for them to operate optimally and also to boost their production and all that. Well, joining us on the program today, he's going to be calling into this program any moment from now, is the new chairman of IPMAN in Edo State, in the person of Mr. Godwin Iwama. Now, we're expecting him to be on the program so that we can let you have, his feeling on the show. Now, some of the reactions we're getting on that now is that a few days ago, we understand that a Nigerian businessman, Femi Otedola, has actually thrown his own weight behind President Bola Tinubu's recent 15% import duty on petrol, diesel. All right, so we are privileged to have Mr. Godwin Iwama now. Now, Mr. Godwin, a very good morning to you. Mr. Godwin. Hello, Mr. Godwin Iwama.
With you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Evans.
Okay, well, let me say congratulations to you first on the assumption of this new office as the IPMAN chairman in Edo State. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we have an issue at hand now, the 15% import duty that the federal government has mentioned. Now, tell us on this program whether this policy has started. Let's start from there.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, so we are looking at the 15% import duty on petrol and diesel that the federal government just mentioned. We want to know whether this policy has started. I mean, has it started, has the federal government started operating it?
Yeah. It has been signed into law.
Okay, it's been signed into law.
Mm.
All right, so what do you think is the major reason for this introduction of these 15% import duties? What is the major reason?
First, before I go into that, we have to look at before the policy is being formulated, we will have to look at what are the parameters, what are on ground before Mr. President enacted this law, so that you will be able to appreciate that he is trying to consolidate the gains of the deregulation in the industry. You know that petrol is a derivative of petrol and diesel is a derivative of crude oil, and we before now have been exporting our crude without refining it locally, which has impoverished us a lot. But today, you find that with the deregulation, Mr. President is trying to consolidate on the gains of the deregulation in the oil and gas industry, especially in the downstream sector. So I think it will impact because positively on us, in the sense that we have the crude, we have the local refineries. People always look at only Dangote. It's not Dangote that is on ground. We have the modular refineries that are on ground. We even have one in Edo State here. They are all on ground, and they are able to meet our local consumption rate in Nigeria. So I think the major reason for Mr. President enacting this policy is to consolidate on the gains of the deregulation by ensuring that not only our local refiners protected, they are protected, and it stabilizes the production system, because he also placed a policy that is very much commendable, giving these local refiners crude in naira, not in foreign currency. It's giving them crude in naira. That saves us a lot of foreign exchange, and the capital flight is very, very, very much reduced. So, on the long run, the major impact it's going to have on all of us is that, especially Nigerians, when our currency is stabilized, you have the value of what you have is also stabilized. We have the possibility of a steady supply of products in the country. We have the country is petroleum and diesel is one of the major energy that holds the energy sector in the country. So with that being constant in the supply chain, you find out that production is easy, transportation is easy. If you look at the price of commodities in the market now, it's steadily coming down. Reason being that the products, petrol and diesel, is not only readily available, the price of this commodity is coming down. If you compare it as at last year, where diesel sold as high as almost 1,700 and PMS going for almost 1,002 to 1,004, it has dropped considerably. Across the board in the nation, you have the diesel going to as far as this year now, maybe you have it at 1,050 and PMS going for 950 thereabout across the board in the country. So it has impacted positively on us as Nigerians, and I think the president's actions should be commended.
All right. Now, you know, when policies like this are introduced, Nigerians naturally, they will react. I mean, we're talking about import duties now, and that has to do with imported products and all that. Now, against, you know, what you said, that the price of petrol seems to be coming down. Now, I remember maybe 1 or 2 months ago, the price of petrol, PMH now, a liter was sold between 850 naira or even 900 naira. But it seems with the announcement of this policy, the price of PMS jacked up. As we you know, speak now in Benin City, where I stay, I mean, the price of PMS per liter is sold for nothing less than 940 naira in most filling stations. So it appears that this policy is going to make Nigerians to pay more. Don't you think so?
First, you must understand that the crude is denominated in foreign currency. It's in naira. It's not in naira. It's in foreign currency. The impact of the price is affected by the how do I say it, by the cost in in the foreign markets. So you don't just look at the local amount you pay. You look at the denomination in dollars. So if there is any slight, it's not necessarily due to the import duty, though it might slightly affect it, but I don't think that is what led to the increase. I believe that it is a slight increase in the price of crude that affected the price of the products as we speak. Because you were trying to, if you look at us at the time you are referring to now, the price of the crude was definitely lower as at today than the price as at today.
So you are trying to tell us that this 15% increment is a very infinitesimal compared to, trying to look at the price, how the price of petrol has jacked up.
Yes. And secondly, I would like to add that this price we are paying for is 15% compared to the gains. Just look at the positive side, the gains that we are getting. No jobs are exported. Our local refineries are protected. We have our jobs. We keep our jobs. We have steady supply. We are not giving substances that are being imported from overseas. We are not giving substance. We are getting quality products. And anytime there is a sneeze in the international community, you find out that the price jacks up because the ships cannot arrive. But with the local refineries protected, if there is any hit in the international community, we are completely safe because the local refineries can meet up to our demand. And the fact that more people are even building more is encouraging investment inflow into the country, creating more jobs. One refinery is in the pipeline. Produce about 500,000 barrels per day. Our group managing director of NNPC is saying that they are trying to resuscitate our state refineries. This will keep our jobs. So the price, if this we are paying for the import, which Mr. President is trying to consolidate the gains of our nation, is infinitesimal compared to the gains both on Nigeria and to the local refineries.
Okay. All right, so we will quickly take a short break now. Now, when we return, we are going to be looking at, this whole issue more critically now, because some of the reactions making the rounds is that this seems to, it's going to be discouraging importers into the country. So, I mean, you are an expert in the field of, this. So when we return after this short break, you're going to be telling us more. Please, you hold on.
ITV, certainly the best.
All right, thank you one more time. The program's still on your television this morning on ITV. And our discussion points this morning is looking at the 50% import duty that the federal government has, mentioned. And this has to be paid by importers of fuel. and diesel into the country. And on our set this morning, as our guest, we have Mr. Godwin Iugama, who is the new chairman of IPMAN in Edo State. Now, Mr. Godwin, if you're still there, we're ready, so we can get you now so that we'll look at some of the issues one more time. Well, away from that now, before the call comes in again, I told you that a foremost industrialist, Femi Otedola, is so much of the support of the federal government. And he said, all right, so we have Mr. Godwin Iugama.
Oh.
All right, so nice to have you back, sir.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let us look at this whole thing, because in as much as we understand that the reason that the federal government is giving is it's going to enable local refineries to operate optimally and also enhance job creation and encourage local refineries. But you and I know that the local refineries we have in Nigeria now, they seem not to be producing the amount of fuel that Nigerians need on a daily basis. So it's only natural that importers still have to, come into the petroleum downstream, analysis and issues and all that. So don't you think that at the end of the day, that this whole policy, 15% import duty, is going to further discourage importers? Don't you think so?
My take on this is that is actually the aim. That is actually the aim. If there is no need, we have the crude in this place, we have the manpower, we have all it takes. If you want to bring a product, why not invest here? We definitely need to discourage importation of products, because the energy sector, any nation that toys with its energy sector is not ready to industrialize. All industrialized nations ensures that they secure their energy sector. The recent noise President Trump was making all over the world, the recent trade war, was because of the export of his jobs. People were producing outside and dumping it on America. So he had to increase tariffs to bring your companies back home. So the essence is let them go and invest. We have all it takes. We have enough crude. The president has been able to secure the Niger Delta. The production of crude has increased from 1.6, is growing to 2 million per day. And as you speak, you can even look at what Dangote is up to now. It's increasing its capacity from 650 to about 1.4 million. As we speak today, they are saying that the total production of Dangote exceeds our demand per day. Look at it, 45 million liters of PMS and 25 million liters of AGU daily. It has enough capacity to supply and meet our daily needs. And even for export, recently, he exported jet fuel to America. So why import? Why import? The beauty of it all is that why I love what the president did. Though Dangote went to court to ensure that it is totally stopped, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He didn't put extra ban on it. He only just is the tariff, which very slight form. It's just in case there are hitches in the local production, this can be met with what is brought in from our overseas. But the catch is this. What these people are bringing into this country sometimes is substandard. I must confess, Mr. Evans. It's substandard.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that if you compare to the standard which is being produced locally, you will find out that they are of international standard. For Dangote to export jet fuel to US, you know it meets up to international standard. Not only is it giving us foreign exchange, it's saving our foreign exchange, which we don't even have, which we need to use for other issues, like in production. So why import? It's not doing us good. We are exporting a job. We have been importing for ages, and we are poor, very poor for it. So it's a welcome development. The president ought to be commended. That's my take.
Yeah, but a little wonder the sincerity of the federal government because I mean, some persons are of the opinion that it is quick for the federal government to say that this move is to encourage local refineries. But you and I know that it is probably the Dangote refinery that seems to be in the forefront of local refinery, local refining, in the country. I mean, some few months ago, we heard that about 5-6 refineries, were working in Nigeria. But as it stands now, Dangote seems to be the only refinery that is working. So the people that are wondering the sincerity of purpose of this policy, don't you think they are right? I mean, one would have thought that instead of increasing import duties for importers, why don't you try as much as possible to come forward and encourage local refineries, maybe in terms of grants and other aids and all that, so that they can actually take up refining petroleum products, optimally in the country?
I would like to let you understand that I think when you say they need to encourage local refiners so that they can operate optimally in the country, what other encouragement do you want from a government that has domiciled crude for supply to the local refineries in our local currency? They give the crude to whoever wants to buy, who is refining locally with our local currency. That's a big step in the right direction. It's not, you don't need to buy in foreign currency. And it's growing. Before he took over, we were operating less than 1 billion barrels per day. He's growing our output of crude to almost 1.6 million barrels per day on the steady front. So the parameters are all on ground to encourage local refineries to come and invest.
Yeah, Mr. Eogaba. Yes.
So when you say that they ought to encourage them by giving them grants. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you. Where with you?
By giving them grants. So I think the president has done enough.
Yeah, but some of the information,
others to come and import it. And in fact, most of them are already falling over themselves, like I informed you earlier. One refineries is on stream. And even our other local refineries here, like the one in Edo State, are redesigning their system to ensure that they start producing petrol, not only diesel. So the import duty, the tariff is a signal to others to come and join and invest in the country. So it's a welcome development.
Thank God that you just mentioned the modular refinery in Edo State here.
Yes.
Now, some of the information that we have in the media space is that some of these modular refineries, perhaps they don't even have the license, to operate, and that seems to be a huge setback in the petroleum downstream sector. I mean, without license, obviously, you cannot operate. So when we say that the federal government seems not to be coming fully, I mean, it may also be in the area of not easily granting license to would-be refineries so that they can actually go into the business.
In any business, there are regulations, rules and regulations. There are rules and regulations in any business for operation. I am in the retailer industry. We have rules guiding it for not only for environmental safety, but for the good of the nation. So these rules, if you fulfill them, your license will be granted to you. That is very, very clear. They are the ones that gave you the license to build and construct in the first case. So immediately you finish construction, they come back, do the inspection. If you meet the rules and regulation, and I'm very sure the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Agency will immediately give you the license. Because no nation toys with its energy sector. You can see from what the president is doing. I don't think if they meet up with the regulations that Nigerian mystery and dancing sector has given to them, immediately they will be granted license because everybody needs their product. Diesel, is, you are aware, is what we use in powering our transport system in the country and the manufacturing system. You can even see from the system now that with the diesel price dropping from almost 1,700 to 1,000, what do you call it, 1,050 naira across the board as we speak now. The price of commodities in the system in the country has considerably reduced. Price of commodities has reduced. You would agree? So if they meet up with the rules and regulations, the guidelines given by NIMJA, that is Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Agency, they would definitely grant them the licenses.
All right.
So I don't think that. Go on.
Yeah, let's shift our attention away from petrol, PMS and diesel now. Now let's shift over to the CNG, that's the compressed natural gas, which is also a product of petroleum as it stands. Now, for you to install the CNG in your vehicle, I mean, a lot of persons want to do this, but the price is far beyond the reach of an average Nigerian. I mean, over ₦1 million. And the reason given is that the kits, you know, they are not done here, they are imported and all that. Now, little wonder when the federal government is also going to shift attention into this area so that they can also further discourage importers, thereby making it, you know, readily available in our local markets by local producers. Hello, Mr. Irama.
Yes, hello, I'm with you.
Yeah.
When you talk about CNG, you find out that the trying to diversify into CNG in Nigeria is long overdue. In the sense that if you know the amount of gas, Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken, has the fifth largest reserve of gas in the world. And we are constantly flaring it all over the country, which is not right. So diversifying into CNG is a welcome development. Like you rightly mentioned, this land, that is conversion of this kit in our vehicles, is slightly on the high side, maybe ₦1 million.
Yeah.
But there are programs on ground designed by federal government where you pay instrumentally. There are programs on ground. Yes, recently they had a symposium here in Benin. I attended it. Where the marketing manager came to educate us. They have, you pay instrumentally, not instantaneously you pay everything. No, it's instrumental. So there's no hitch in that. If you decide to branch to take cheap CNG, beautiful, but you pay instrumentally, not instantly. You pay everything.
Okay. All right. So
if they don't know where to or who to contact to ensure that if they need to pay, that is take up the product and pay instrumentally, they can reach us in our office in Obini Agbo Road, in our secretariat. We will guide them on how to get the contact to pay instrumentally to install your kit in your car, the CNG kit in your car.
Okay. All right. So you are telling members of the public now that as part of your responsibility, you also, you know, design methods and, you know, ways whereby members of the public can pay instrumentally in installing this, okay, in their vehicles.
We link them to the necessary facilities placed there by the federal government for them to be able to pay instrumentally if they wish to change or convert their car to CNG.
Where is your office located so that members of the public can know?
It's the NNPC Benin Depot.
Okay, here in Benin.
Benin Agbo Road.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's where our secretariat is.
Okay. Now, quickly, you know, the U-tide period is but we're already in the U-tide period, and I mean, I'm grown enough to understand what happens this period. All of a sudden, PMS becomes unavailable, scarce, and all that. So, as the new IPMAN chairman now in Edo State, what modalities are you putting on ground to ensure that members of the public in Edo State will have these products, available during the Yuletide?
Our job has been made easy. It's been made easy because of the ready availability of these products all over the nation. We can source it, especially those of us in Edo State, from our neighboring state or from Lagos. The products are readily available. So the only thing that I would use this medium to appeal for is that they should expedite action in the repairs of our road network, especially in the Warri axis, in the Chaplain Road, so as to ensure that our trucks easily fly and come in as an advantage. Because when you pay and the product doesn't come in on time, that delay affects our supply chain. So I would appeal, and I know that our amiable governor is up to the task. He has taken up the duty to ensure that the same portion in the Benin Chaplain Road is being looked into. And if they do that, I don't think we'll have any issues. All over the state, since there's availability, our teaming retailers are equal to the task. And we are also encouraging some of our members who are not having enough capital to buy these products and sell in their stations. We have linked them to necessary facilities provided by banks to ensure that they key into and ensure that they are able to get this facility, that is to say, credit facility to be able to buy petroleum products. So I don't see any hitch or scarcity coming up in this year's time period. It's going to be smooth sailing.
Okay.
Evans.
All right, so quickly, before I let you go, because I know it's very scarce to have you. So as the new IPMAN chairman in Edo State, what difference are you bringing on board? I mean, your members may want to know this on this program this morning.
Like I said in my mission statement when I was when I took over the leadership of IPMAN Benin Depot from my predecessor, Alhaji Abdul Hamid Baba Salim, I did say that we are going to partner with the relevant authorities or bodies to ensure that we give good services to our customers. So what I mean by that is that the relevant authorities, we are talking about NINTRA, we are talking about private refineries, we are talking about all regulatory agencies and the sources to which we get these products. So we are also talking about ensuring that our members are protected from most of these multiple taxation, which is affecting us a lot, I must confess. We have so if we are able to reduce by engaging even the state authorities to ensure that our taxes are used to the barest minimum to keep us to be an employer of labor. These are some of the areas I want to look into, to appeal to these regulatory agencies to ensure that the burden on us is reduced to the barest minimum so that we can give better services to our customers. From state to federal. State, when you talk about state, we pay local, that is to say state, local government, state government, and federal taxes. If we, all these other taxes, if we are able to engage the state government to bring it to the barest minimum, then our members will be able to perform optimally.
All right, so Mr. Iugama, we want to say a very big thank you for joining us on the program this morning, and we hope that subsequently when we call on you on other relevant topics, you also grant us and oblige us the analysis of the issues as they go on.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, so the program is still this morning on ITV, and we've been talking with Mr. Godwin Iugama, who is the new chairman of IPMAN, Benin Depot. And we'll be looking at the new 15% import duty that the federal government has introduced for importers of petrol. That's PMS, Premium Motor Spirit and Diesel, into the country. So we will see how it goes. I mean, it's only natural that Nigerians will begin, will keep on looking at it and see how it's going to, span out as the whole issues unveil. All right, so we'll take a short pause now, and we're going to be joining our Abuja Network Center, where they are going to be looking at, still the Donald Trump issue, reactions and counter-reactions trailing Donald Trump's allegation on Christian, killing in Nigeria. Please stay tuned.
ITV, certainly the best.
Back right there still this morning on ITV, and I'm Oguntimehin Tolulope Oguntimehin, and we're still on the issue about the planned U.S. invasion of Nigeria, and also with reactions with Nigeria ministers making statements right on this particular issue, and also on the recent statement by Daniel Buwala on the fact that what Nigeria needs is a support of artillery, that they have the machinery, the force to really be able to tackle it, but they need a modernized equipment that can help them to be able to tackle this issue. The kind of drones they want to use, sophisticated drones, and also fighter jet. These are some of the things they would have expected U.S. to provide for them, rather than thinking about planned invasion of Nigeria. But one of the major proponents about the invasion of Nigeria is Ted Cruz, a former presidential candidate in U.S. and also a senator in the United States of America, has been at the forefront of this, with a whole lot of people asking questions about the interest of that. And also joining us via Zoom this morning is another person, a legal practitioner, talking about Obajide Ilugo. It's a pleasure to have you this morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. How are you, sir?
I know you have been following recent pronouncements by major proponents of the invasion of Nigeria from the U.S. angle, and also what the federal government has been saying about this. When you put into consideration the statement coming from the federal government, and also side by side with what some of the proponents of a planned invasion of Nigeria, saying. What do you make of this, Barrister?
Well, thank you very much. There are many sides to this issue, and I can sympathize with the president and his team, because first, this is a problem that this government inherited. I've listened to various opinions by many political analysts and public opinion analysts. Some blame squarely on the government's shoulder, saying that they are not doing enough. Well, there's a place for that, because there cannot be enough when we still have insurgency around us. So that's a part. The other part that I've really appreciated is the Nigerians who have really stood up for the sake of the sovereignty and the integrity of our country, to condemn in very serious terms the position of the American president, who is poised to treat Nigeria like any of those pariah states, irrespective of the fact that Nigeria remains a sovereign state, and there are United Nations charters that guide against such. But all of those things in the rhetorics. I listened, I watched the interview by Buala yesterday. That was a very, 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 I love the way that interview went. He was able to answer the questions in their appropriate quarters. And I think what we need now is two things. The government, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with the same way he chested the removal of subsidy, with the same way he has acted as a man who believes that the buck stops on the table, he should take advantage of this President Trump. For me, what is it diplomatically? This can be a fantastic opportunity for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to raise the appropriate support. But it would depend on the integrity of his intention, not wanting to ruffle feathers, the old feathers, the cabal structures, the people that reports have given up over time as being proponents and supporters and funders of this terrorism, banditry, whatever you want to call it. I mean, government agencies have done their work. They have not about it. There have been reports. A list of names of people that are still roaming the streets freely in Nigeria that are identified as sponsors of this thing. So the extent to which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be ready to allow American government to assist him, because it is one thing to go out against the insurgents. It is another thing to rally around the people who are behind it. So will the president allow the people behind it? Will he be ready to expose them to the American government? Will he be ready to, even if America said they're giving support, what kind of support? Will it be, again, like it happened before when, I think, only President Goodluck Jonathan, when Americans sent some troops and they found out that by the time they have done their planning, before they get to the field, there are betrayers, you know, and sabotages here and there, and they had to pull out because they saw that there's more to the battle. So at this juncture now, what is on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's table as he goes to meet President Trump? We want to see much of the source of these killings will be brought to book. Anything short of that, well, it will be another challenge, but I want to believe that President Trump will be fooled. They have the information. People who were kidnapped before. So it's not new. Hello?
There is one major statement that is also coming out of this. I listened to the chief security agencies in Nigeria talking, and some of the things they also said has to do with the level of intelligence gathering by the United States of America. One thing that also came to the fore is the fact that the killing of Christians, the killing of both Christians and Muslims, did not start now. It's been happening since like 2009. That in recent days, number has not even been, it's not as much as it used to be back then. That their gathering should, the level of intelligence gathering is also being exposed, that they are not up to date with what is happening. What do you make of this? Do you think this should be coming out from Nigerian top security chiefs? What do you make of this?
But you see, but these are facts. When it comes to intelligence gathering, from the feelers, the reports that we get to read over time from 2009 up until Buhari took over and they went on the streets, the March 1 massacre and all the things that we have seen, the Benue killings and all. It will shock you. I think 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, I was on my way to Nigeria and I had, while we had a layover, I got into conversation with an Asian. I'm not really sure which part of the country it was. And when he got to know I was a Nigerian, the first question the young man asked me is, what about the killing of Christians in Nigeria? I was taken aback. And I started doing PR for my country. Well, the killing has been general, the general is not really specific to Christians. They've been killing Muslims and all. But I think at this juncture, we should be very, very careful not to unruffle the souls that are not sleeping well in their graves. There has been massive Christian killing in this country. But however, in my discussion with my seniors in the last few days, we identified something. It's maybe a coincidence. There is a push for land reclamation by some people in the name of this, but we also have indications that behind these minerals that are lying fallow in those places and they need to access it. But this particular area happens to be unidentified, unprotected minorities, and they happen to be Christian. For me, if you really tell me, ask me, it is probably is not about Christianity, it's about the land. And that particular belt happened to be populated by minority tribes, minority sects who happen to be Christians. Because at the end of the day, when they drive them away, you hear of the mining activity that go on in those places. So we should be very careful in our narrations, in our narratives, not to fall like there is nothing like there is. In Christians, others, they've killed people in churches, in worship centers. In their numbers, there is the one of that pastor that showed the tomb of 501 people in the community, or majorly Christians. You can't take away the fact. When you put this, when we are trying to give this narration to America, America has a better detail. There was the USIS, United States Information Service, which is now, I think, changed to USAID. They have all these statistics. You don't need to tell them what is going on. They have the equipment to spot everywhere. So the question you will ask is, with all this intelligence, with all our technology and all our budgeting and all, what has happened? What has happened? Is it that we cannot locate where these guys are? That they are brazen enough to make phone calls, to make video of how they are decimating our military there. Come on. There's more to it. But, you know, leaving the rhetoric, let us look at what is in front of us now. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have no choice in this matter than to engage Donald Trump. If I were President Bola, I will go with the Sultan of Sokoto. I will go with El Rufai.
Barrister, one other thing that is also worrisome to me also has to do with the quietness of the African Union. We have seen the case of Libya. We have seen what happened in Sudan and also in South Sudan, where U.S. have claimed that they're coming in to support, to put things on ground. I said one other thing that worries me also has to do with the quietness of the African Union, the countries in Africa. With what happened in Libya, Sudan, and South Sudan, I think it should be a lesson to African countries that whenever U.S. wants to come in to support, to provide this kind of, to come up with this kind of invasion, it does not lead well, bodes well for African countries. Don't you think the African countries, the presidents of countries in Africa, are supposed to be speaking out? Are you comfortable with the quietness of some of the countries in Africa over this?
I cannot be comfortable at all, because the fundamentals of the problem of Africa is lack of citizenship. Will it not be lack of citizenship for a Nigerian to be celebrating that America wants to come and invade Nigeria? I mean, it should be preposterous to say your country, another country is coming to invade. And when you go to African Union in the last couple of years, I don't know what has happened, whether because of the Burkina Faso renegade approach and all these coups that took place, you know, and the guys that are there. I don't know whether that is affecting the African Union outlook. The African Union is not what we used to hear in the past. By now, there should be a very solid position of footing with this position with the United States. But you hear people celebrating, oh yes, because they did not want President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office anymore. So we are ready to cut our nose to spite our face. This does not work. There are more behind when every time America invades every territory. There is more to it. Look at Afghanistan. After how many years, with all the noise, look at Iraq. And should we not be ashamed that we allow America to depose Gaddafi? Libya, that was in the front line of developed nation, moving towards becoming one of the most significant developed nations. Where is Libya now? The whole place, and people should know, the structure of Nigeria is so fragmented that if you think somebody will come over and hand over to somebody, you're fooling yourself. There are strategic ethnic militia, put it in quotes, everywhere in the corner of Nigeria. We have in Niger Delta, we have in Baland. If there is a break in the center, everybody will have a right to declare their own independence. When they say independence, good. So that we don't end up like Liberia, where you have a Yomi Johnson and you have the other one. You will be the whole place rented. This is not what we should celebrate at all. This is what we should pray does not happen. This is what the president must take up steps, active steps to engage American government and ask for their help, not allow an invasion. And they have to go with the facts that will convince them. Because if you are telling them something and they have their facts to the contrary, you are giving the chance for them to come to terms with you. And if there is another strike, don't be surprised. What do we have to stop America from coming here? I don't know what we have. I just don't know what we have. So real. The president and be ready to confront his confrontation. This all of this crisis on the table. The fact it doesn't do it bring Nigeria efficient enough. Show him behind what and what are they doing. So the buck stops at the president's table. He should take this. He should take these steps like a two-step with the what do you call it? The remover to engage action with this man. Let America come and help us and deal with this problem. And whosoever is God, the president will allow that.
Oh. Okay, what I will try to get go back right there following the network right there. But a major being raised also with the Nigeria sitting down and holding this discussion with United States government can find a lasting solution to this. And also one thing we want to take away from this is the fact that it's important at this point in time that United States do respect the sovereignty of Nigeria.
ITV, certainly the best.
fight these fights right there. So much from the Abuja Network Studio. We'll take a short pause before we link up with our Lagos Network Studio as this morning on ITV continues on the network platform.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV.
If you're just tuning in, it's the continuation of your ultimate news and current affairs program reaching you live from our Lagos Network Center on the ITV network. I am Joshua Okasa. And of course, I have joining me as my co-anchor is Patricia Gabriel. Pat, how are you?
Hi, Joshua. Thank you for introducing me. Anyway, thank you for joining us on TMI this morning. You can watch us on GoTV channels 140, Star Times channels 130, and UHF channel Abuja 42, and UHF channel Benin 22. And of course, our social media handles are not left out. You can see us on Facebook, TikTok, and the YouTube handle.
All right. We'll be looking at the issue that has to do with passport seizure. And of course, what brings to mind is the Kogi State Senator in the person of Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who is in the news again, this time over the outrage she created about her passport seizure by the officials of the Nigerian Immigration Service, a situation she puts the blame at the doorstep of the President of the Senate in the person of Godswill Akpabio. Now, the questions on the lips of Nigerians: what is the reason behind the passport seizure? Is it a situation of a routine check or a situation of being victimized as a whistleblower? Or could she be a flight risk? Well, to have this conversation this morning with us, I'm being joined by our guest in the person of Mr. Said Ajadi, who is a political affairs analyst. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Mr. Said.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, before we delve into this issue, I'd like us to take a look at the video once again, the trending video which was made by the Senate, the senator in the person of Natasha, for us to be able to look at the issues around such videos. And then when we come back, definitely we'll analyze them. Please take a look.
Have I committed any offense? Why are you with passports? Hello, fellow Nigerians. Good morning. This is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Having completed my celebration of second year in office to take at the airport here, and my passport is being withheld again. The same thing happened last time where my passport was seized. I have committed no offense, and there is no order from the court to withhold my passport and deny me traveling. The last time this happened, the officer in charge told us that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, instructed them to withhold my passport and prevent me from traveling because he said each time I travel out of the country, I smear the country's image by granting interviews out in international media. Please, can you tell them to release my passport and this embarrassment should stop? You have no right to withhold my passport. You have no right to deny me exit and entrance into my country. I have not committed any offense, and this must stop. Sorry. No, this must stop. As a matter of fact, I think I have to sue you for continuously embarrassing me because he agreed that they were politically witch hunting cases. Hold on. So there is no reason why my...
It's looking like the drama, the supposed drama from Senator Natasha wouldn't end anytime soon, because for every moment we get to stumble, it's one issue after another. But of course, that's notwithstanding, she is a public office holder. Now my question to you is, the situation she complained about, is it an issue of a routine check or a situation where she's being witch hunt?
Good morning, and thank you once more for having me.
Thank you.
The drama is too much, one the other too much. We don't need all this. If I had known that it's about Natasha, I would probably not be your guest this morning. Because we cannot be paying bills for these people, and it's all about drama, not actions and issues got to do with Nigerians. I'm here because of Nigeria. I'm not here because of Natasha. And I'm not here because of Akpabio. The number 3 person in Nigeria should please give that office a lot of evidence. The Akpabio woman also should please give Nigeria a lot of respect and a lot of honor. That passport is representing us.
Did you say Akpabio woman?
Natasha.
Natasha Akpoti woman.
Okay.
Akpabio is the Senate President.
All right.
If you hear what she said that the Senate President said she's putting Nigeria to disrepute anytime she travels. And that is why they need to withhold her passport and ask her some questions. Where are you going to? What are you doing? But she said, I've just finished my 2 years in office. I need to have a week rest. She has the right to do whatever she wants to do with her time, for as long as it doesn't infringe on the Constitution of Nigeria. However, Akpabio's interference as the Senate president is what I really don't understand.
Okay, so now that's where I want to come in. Is there anything wrong in one saying or expressing her views about her country, whether in the negative or positive light? Is there anything wrong with
There's
that?
a lot wrong about that. You are a senator of the Federal Republic. We are earning a salary. She's earning allowances from us. We pay taxes. We're in the business world. So there's a lot wrong with that. I should have been in the Senate 15 years before her to benchmark the rules, because we knew this was coming. But because some godfathers did not want us to speak the truth about Nigeria, we couldn't get in there. Because you see, you cannot continue to waste our time as Nigerians. We look forward to a lot of representation, classical representation, functional representation, to do with issues that concerns us. You are crying about so many things. And this is what we hear. It's a waste of our time, waste of our resources. And that is why we are here in international communities talking down on us. They have to, it starts from home. Charity starts from home, begins at home. She's a woman married with children. Let us give respect. This nation, Article Eric. Anything wrong with what she's done? Do you understand? But the drama is one too many. Why you Akpabio all the time? What's going on between both of you? I'm a trained psychologist. Okay? I don't want to go into professional perspective. But if we go into that, we're going to unearth a lot of things. Because the cognitive resonance about Akpabio. What's going on? When you started in the Senate, you were all smiles with Akpabio. Now, Akpabio is the albatross of... what is it? Please, let us function with Nigeria. We are interested in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
We are so interested in Nigeria.
Yes.
That's why I'm going to ask you this question. Let's assume the Senate President actually gave the instruction for her pass be seized. Senate President this power to
be withheld.
To be okay.
Why is 10 minutes? We transparent. The video have just. That's how he did. The people must have them holding back 20 minutes. They give it to her after 20 minutes. Was it because of the video or the outcry, or because there was a valid reason? That is what we need to know on the other side. And that is why we're saying the Senate President has a lot of functional officers working in it. Why are you personal? You can have had a meeting or the deputy senator or someone, and they need to, and that's in the Senate. On this saying
we're on the queue and you know it's a routine check. So tell her.
They held the passport. She was holding on, but she felt it was too long because he had had a past experience. That's what she said. So having had that kind of past experience, and it's so early in the morning, she's the only one waiting. As you can see the video, there's no other person waiting. So it was got to do with that person. So what it means, therefore, is that there's a personal vendetta or there's an issue going on under the radar. Maybe because of our exposure in the United Nations and the talking down on Nigeria somehow.
Or do you think...
And the exposure in the international community because of our own personal issues with the Senate. You don't bring Nigeria down. I personally will have issues with that.
Okay. Okay, so let's from this
Nigeria, you are representing State for God's sake. You are an ambassador.
I want you to the
the Senate President had a reason for her to say that that she talks down on Nigeria. That is the reason why the Senate president said they should withhold her passport. That's a good enough reason.
But
For
when
me,
you
can't talk
accused,
down on Nigeria. I will fight you.
Can I ask a question?
You can't. We are too big and important. It's not about arrogance. It's not about pride. It's about Nigeria. How do you rejig the system if you don't have respect for yourself? But you will respect.
So now should the reduction, regardless of the fact that I hold a public office?
That's the more reason why she should risk herself, and Akpabio should himself.
So at this
as a big servant, you're earning salaries, allowances. It's not her money that she's spending. She's a senator. She's paid. So out of what Nigeria is giving her, she wants to go and rest for a week before she comes back. That's Nigeria's money, taxpayers' money. So you have to be careful the way you deal with us. So they, both of them, they're responsible to Nigerians. If they sit in their houses, like Uduagan's house or Akpabio's house, we don't have any business with them. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't even be talking about that this morning. We should be talking about how many laws that Uduagan has made and how many laws Akpabio has put into
understood,
law.
But she's an elective member.
That's the...
Her constituents aren't complaining that she's not doing what she was elected for. This time around, she's complaining about being victimized, about saying certain things that might not sit well with a certain person.
With a video one side.
So are we looking at it from the angle... Get my question. Are we looking at it from the angle of somebody being victimized as opposed to the person whom you're looking at now as a public office holder that should be able to conduct herself because she's on taxpayers' salary?
She's not thinking the first thing I said, okay? Going on social media and doing you is dry. You could have resolved.
Whether her right was infringed on.
Can I finish? I travel a lot. The immigration has a check passport and keep you standing for an hour. And there's nothing you can do about it. We are working. The only thing is that if the call for the flight is made, then there is an issue. Tell me what is going on. Am I catching this flight? Or what you have seen is not going to allow me catch the flight. It's not war. There's no drama. Several people who has no voice, like her, have these issues every day. So it's not a big deal. I shouldn't be here discussing this issue.
Okay, sorry.
It's not a big deal.
Now, let's look at the issue about...
I was going to ask you a question because of what you just said. Does it... You heard her said she was going to sue the immigration. Yes, she said she has the right to sue the immigration. But like you said, it was just 20 minutes that she was held. Does she still have the right to sue the immigration for just 20 minutes?
That's what I'm saying. Ordinary citizens of Nigeria go through this every day. Some people are even accused of what they don't know anything about. That's why when you are Nigeria should think twice.
ITV, certainly the best.
Say the president give orders that her cases in the court should be ruled
dropped.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So why is
so
it
fantastic? If you are saying that,
that
means,
it was as a result
me
of
finish.
being witch hunted?
Yes.
Let me finish. That's why I said the president is a father. Akpabio, deal with this issue. So why is Akpabio still discussing that means there are personal issues involved. I am a married man and I have a wife and I am a trained psychologist. That's why I said that is another issue professionally if you tell me to talk about my personal opinion of this.
So Bola Tinubu now has said, leave this issue, and the issue is still lingering. So are we going to say that this is more like an abuse of office, especially in the case of Akpabio?
We don't need drama anymore. You are abusing the office that you are in right now.
So who is abusing the
Both
office?
of them. Both of them. Let me tell you why.
How would you
Hold on.
say she's
Wait
abusing?
now. Wait. See, if she wasn't a senator, she would not call those names. She would not say those things. And she would not be on air saying what we are saying. I would not be sitting down here, for goodness sake. It's because she's a senator.
Yeah.
And she's representing Kogi State. That's why it's an issue concerning Nigerians. So that both of them are involved. So let us use common sense. Akpabio is also involved because he's putting the office of the Senate President to dishonor. The President has given you an instruction. The woman has said, I am not a flight risk. Anytime I'm called, I am there. What are you still looking for? And you are the Senate President. The law resides with you. So if the man on the third seat is not thinking of his seat, we don't want to be abusive on air. You want to put words in my mouth. I will abuse him because he's supposed to be the man in charge of the law. The woman has proven to you, the first time you called me, I was there. The second time, I was there. The third time, I was there. What are you looking for? And the president waited in saying to you, go and forget about all this drama. And you are still at it? Come on. So we don't have issues that are burning in the Senate for you to attend to than Akpoti Idwaga?
But anyways, let's come down to...
She's not the only beautiful woman in the Senate. There are beautiful women there. If he's talking about beauty,
no, let's not make it about. Let's not make it about.
You are the one that brought me here.
No, let's not make it about the gender. We're looking at somebody's rights.
I want to talk about the security aspect of it. Do you think she going out to talk about Nigeria like Akpabio will want to say? Is it a security risk to Nigeria?
That's what I said to you earlier. If that is the issue, then she has issues with me sitting down here. You cannot in any form bring Nigeria's name to disrepute now. We are trying to change the narrative for Nigeria. Enough of rubbish. We are people of dignity. We are people of honor. We are people of regard. We are people of intellect. We are special people. There's nowhere you go there's nowhere I am in the world. They don't ask me twice who I am. Because I'm a proud Nigerian. So you cannot take that name and mess around with it. Because we are proud ambassadors of that name. We have children. And my son will see me in the morning and prostrate to me because I'm a proud Yoruba man. And my daughter will see me after the first prayer in the morning. We pray together. They must kneel to greet me. Because I did the same for my father. I'm speaking English because I went to a good school. I never schooled in England. All holidays. Quality is who we are. Quality, high class. So nobody should bring that name. You are going to have problems. Because the president is trying to change that narrative. That you should respect Nigeria. You should honor Nigeria. And we are trying to drive the same narrative in our homes and in our communities and societies. Please, tell her and tell Kogi State people to tell her and tell Akpabio from Benue State or Calabar or Orom that we are a true Nigeria. We don't want disrespect.
Okay, sir, your last words for Akpabio and the Senate.
They should stop wasting our time and do their jobs. Or else they should be impeached out of the society. Because we have less than 2 years. The president is working assiduously and you are here wasting our time? Look at what the president has been able to achieve without having anything in 2 years. There was nothing for this government to start with. That was why they had to stop the subsidy. There was nothing Buhari left as subsidy for 2023. Go and find out. So telling me that they stopped subsidy, it has stopped itself from January. So a man that met himself in the wilderness of nothing is bringing about something. Some people will say, why is he borrowing money? Buhari was borrowing money to pay salaries. This one is not borrowing money to pay salaries. Look at the dollar today.
So what do you
So
think?
we need to help ourselves. You are in the media. Forget politics. The value is coming back to us. Look at Dangote today. Dangote is a problem for everybody now because of productivity. So bring 3 or 4 Dangotes like Bua and some Indians and some Chinese. There are people coming in, whether they like it or not, Nigeria will develop. So we will work successfully. I will be part of the billionaires. So what is it?
So as we move closer
Please.
now, into 2027, what should be the president's priority, especially with regards to the kind of persons that make up his administration?
Did you see what he just did?
To avoid this kind of back
They
and forth.
just fired the military chiefs. It has never happened. There is no ceremony for Joint Chief of Staffs. It has never happened in Nigeria. What are you talking about? So that is telling you a forthright, strategic person. It's not a player. If it was a player, if they are saying there was or supposedly there's so many things happening underneath the radar,
Let's
and
assume.
yet it's standing.
Let's
That's a
assume.
tough man, don't you
Because we
think?
are pressed for time. Let's assume that this drama continues. Are we
This drama
likely to
will
see a
not
replacement
continue.
from the
It will not
legislature?
continue. I know the Senate president is a man of respect and he will respect the office of the
Okay,
Senate.
just a quick one. We took
And
it.
Uduaga would also respect
herself.
herself.
Okay.
And we will not see any drama anymore mentioning names.
We took the newspaper
let's allow the
review
president
this
to
morning, and still we have on the papers the issue of the threat from Trump. What's your advice for the presidency?
Now you're talking. Because the president is a very proactive president. He sacked the officers before they started. That's proactiveness. That's why I'm saying that let us watch this man very well and help him to succeed. Why did he sack them? Why didn't he bring a young officer? He brought the next man in charge. Forget time now. Trust Nigeria and help the president succeed.
All right.
Give him his 4 years. Then after 4 years, if you don't like him, vote. But allow him to work.
We are in the media, so ours is to bring the issues
As a
and allow you to make up
facts.
your mind.
Yes, that's why we're here.
So the facts are on the table.
Yes, it's,
so we allow the
see
Nigerians.
tomato.
That's come down.
Madam, go and find out about rice.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Please.
Thank you so much for your
Yes.
contribution. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That was Mr. Ajadi giving us his 2 cents
Ajadi
on
is
the
my
matters.
name. Ajadi.
Ajadi.
Yes.
Ajadi. Thank you so much for that. But do you want to say something before we wrap up? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Jadi, for putting heat on this table this morning.
Thank you
We hope
always.
to see you sometime.
I'll be on standby.
Yes,
Anytime
okay.
for Nigeria.
Okay.
God bless you, Nigerians.
All right, that's the much we'll be sharing with you from our Lagos Network studios. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, we'll be handing you over now to our Benin Network for the rest of the program. Do stay.
ITV, certainly the best.
The news update at 9:30. My name is Evan Sunokugi. Acting Chairman, Ikobauka Local Government Council, Honorable Sino Sawaru, has expressed commitment in addressing the developmental needs of over 30 communities in the area. The commitment of Honorable Sawaru followed appeals by residents of wards 5, 6, 7, and 8 during the ongoing town hall meetings and ward visitation. Joy Abaisiagman reports.
After his previous visit towards 9 and 10, Honorable Sino Sawao proceeded with his management team toward 5, where leaders and members of 5 communities in the ward converged on Ohomina Event Center on St. Saviour Road. They appealed to the Edo State government to expand and renovate Ogola Secondary School and other dilapidated school facilities. They sought the grading of key adjoining roads, improved healthcare facilities, and better electricity supply.
We need grading and sand filling of Ogeneken Road, Iyekekpolo, Uwakwe Streets, and environs.
The local government chairman visited a gully site where 3 houses fell into a gully at Upper Omomo Street in Ward 9. At number 58 on Dumez Road, off Saple Road, leaders of Ward 6 appealed to the Edo State government for infrastructural development, particularly the construction of adjoining roads linking Benin Saple Road. They requested for a primary school in Etiti and a healthcare facility to serve the people.
Most of the adjoining roads there are not passable. All the streets inside the area is where the vehicles are passable, and the place is not maintained.
At Ward 7, the people welcomed the council chairman, Honorable Sawaro Atugbekunazis of Upper Sakbomba, seeking infrastructural development and electricity. The head teacher of Ologbosere Primary School appealed to the state government to provide adequate security and complete some abandoned projects in the school.
I would be appreciative if the council will provide us with security.
Leaders and members of 16 communities in Ward 8 converged on Idogbo Town Hall seeking youth employment, infrastructural development, market and healthcare facilities. They emphasized the need for primary school facilities in remote communities in Ward 8.
We don't have a primary school in Asara.
Honorable Sawa was visibly moved by the appeals of his constituents, assuring them that Governor Monday Okpewolo is committed to improving the lives of Ikpobaoka residents.
We will try to make sure we meet those needs. His Excellency, the Governor of those needs, is changing the narratives.
The town hall meetings continues. From Benin, Joy Obaisiagbon, ITV News.
The President, Board of Trustees, Executive, and members of Ayowiri Grammar School alumni in Etsako, West Local Government Area, Edo State, have performed their first official task of holding annual general meeting and other activities to celebrate the Golden Jubilee of the school. The report by Edo North Bureau Chief McDonald Runoka is presented by Williams Yama.
The board chairman, Mr. Michael Agbayokai, welcoming guests, expressed the desire to achieve set goals of the body and appealed for support. Another board member, Mr. Imokai Vincent Ayakamo, sued for sustained commitment among members towards meaningful impact to reposition the school.
Belong to the association, contribute your ideas, together we will make a very good, positive impact in this school.
The program of events shifted to free medical treatment for everyone and launching a 100 million naira development fund to address construction of modern computer laboratory, drilling a borehole for water supply, renovation of administration block, among others. The event climaxed with a gala night and award presentation to honor those who have impacted on the school development.
We have achieved what we could have done some years back, and we pray that the association will grow from glory to another glory.
Everything we need here will be achieved. What we need here, we need an equipped laboratory. We need to renovate some classrooms. We need to seek a borehole and many more other things.
Alhaji Abdul Hamid Babasalio chaired the launching. High points of the Golden Jubilee celebration by the Alumni Association of Ayoguri Grammar School, Ayoguri Uzare, Esako West Local Government Area, we had the inauguration of a renovated block of 3 classrooms equipped with desks and chairs and Thanksgiving at St. Matthew Catholic Church, Ayoguri. Members of Ayoguri Grammar School alumni had flagged off the celebration with the Golden Jubilee of the alma mater with a roadshow to strengthen awareness on the Christian need to restore the foremost institution to its lost glory. There was also an innovative football match between the old boys and girls. William Siama, ITV News.
Away from that now, over 200 Edo youths drawn from the three central districts have been empowered with cash to support their different endeavors. The gesture, facilitated by socio-political organization City Boy Movement, aims to drive President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda through the empowerment of youths nationwide. Kingsley Uchebu has the details.
The first of its kind empowerment in Edo State, organized by the City Boy Movement, aims to financially empower youths from the 18 local government areas in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Special guest and Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, who presented checks to the first set of over 100 beneficiaries, described President Bola Tinubu's economic reforms as the backbone for Edo's development.
Could Jonathan Goodluck remove fuel subsidy? Even our own Buhari, could they do it? Who did it? Who did it? City Boy did it. It took him a minute.
Minister of Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, described the event as an opportunity for youths to take advantage of different empowerment initiatives facilitated by President Bola Tinubu and Governor Okpebholo.
This platform will give the youth a channel to get intact and help from the government. Know the government policy. Ask questions. We want to bring the government closer to the young people.
Edo State Deputy Governor Dennis Idahosa, Director General City Boy Movement Dr. Francis Oluwatosin, and the State Coordinator City Boy Movement Dr. Padi Yamu highlights the expected gains of the empowerment initiative, assuring of massive support for President Tinubu in 2027.
All of us that are here can access minimum of 10 persons to vote for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come 2027. We are mobilizing 10 million votes for President Tinubu in 2027.
We'll do roads, build schools, we'll create employment, because by so doing, this woman and her children will benefit.
Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has received accolades for his administration's efforts in improving the lives of residents in Uriomo local government area, one of the oil-producing communities, through massive road construction, installation of transformer and infrastructural development. The commendation came from the natives during the inspection tour of the ongoing construction of road projects in Urugu Township and Uza Etana roads, and completion of the installation of transformers in Ewesi, Uru, Urehue, and Urugu communities. Efosa Wangwe has the details.
Jubilant natives, market women showing appreciation and vowed to support the governor's effort in transforming the states. A few months ago, Governor Monday Okpebholo promised to turn around Uriomo communities. In less than a quarter after assuming office, the governor, through the Edo State Oil and Gas Producing Areas Development Commission, ESOPADEC, kicked off the projects. 3.515 kilometers Urugu Township Road, 1.6 kilometer Oza Eternal Road construction, 3.5 kVA installation of transformers in Ewesi, Iwewo, and Urugu communities. Others are ongoing markets with solar-powered boreholes, VIP toilet facility, 20 open and 80 locked-up stores in Umogu Nohua, Ugu Open Market, 50 locked-up market stores in Ewoga, 120 open and 80 locked-up stores in Obe, and 20 open, 40 lock-up stores, among others. These initiatives have brought relief to residents who have been struggling with poor infrastructure and inadequate access to basic amenities, as they express how happy they are seeing the impact of the projects.
Physically, I am seeing what is called the dividend of good governance. I want to thank the Excellency. The entire people of Urugu community are ready to stand by him in any time of election.
We are grateful as a community.
If not this issue of rain, we would have been seeing the progress so much now.
In his remarks during the inspection tour, the governor, represented by the chairman, ESOPADEC, Francis Osaboye, and the board members, said he will continue to put the people first and make them feel the impact of democracy in the state.
We are very, very happy with the progress of the job.
seeing what they are doing today, we are very, very satisfied with it.
Project is expected to be finished in 18 months.
From Orion, Efosa Wangwe, ITV News.
The Edo State Police Command has arrested 3 suspects, including a woman identified as Chioma Success Adenike, for allegedly staging her own kidnapping in Benin City to extort money from her husband. A statement issued by the Deputy Police Public Relations Officer ASP Eno Ekoede says the incident was reported on 27th October 2025 when one Paul Adeniken lodged a complaint at the New Etete Police Division that his wife and 3-year-old son have been kidnapped. The alleged abductors had allegedly demanded a ransom of 5 million naira for their release. Following the report, operatives of the New Etete Division, in collaboration with the command's anti-kidnapping unit, launched a coordinated investigation that led to a major breakthrough. Detectives discovered that the supposed victim, Chioma Success Adenike, conspired with her cousin Osita Godfrey and another accomplice, Martin Chidozie, to stage the abduction. The suspects were immediately arrested and the ransom sum of 5 million naira was recovered. The statement explains that the suspects have made useful confessional statements and the case has been transferred to the State's Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation and prosecution. And with that story now, we're in the news update at 9:30. Thanking you for watching. The continuation of the program this morning on ITV with the social media segment comes away shortly. And don't forget to join us at 12 o'clock for the World News. My name is Evan Sunokogi. Good morning.
ITV.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best. ITV. ITV, certainly the best.
Hello, beautiful people. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and I am Marcelina. Another day to talk about trending stories on social media. What is making waves across social media? All right, this beautiful morning, our first story we would be talking about is yesterday we saw that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, she was traveling out of the country, but they seized the passport. And she said something like this had happened before, and the people that seized my passport, they told me that it was Senator, the president, the Senate president, Senator Gospel Akpabio, was the one that instructed them to seize my passport. And this is happening again. What have I committed? What is my offense? They later gave her a passport, but before then, you know how we do at my socials, we get to hear people's reaction about a particular story. Take a look at the video before we go to the reaction.
That's correct. You didn't say it. Yes. But
have I committed any offense? Why are you withholding my passport? Hello, fellow Nigerians. Good morning. This is Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Having completed my celebration of my second year in office, I decided to take a week off. So I'm at the airport here, and my passport is being withheld again. The same thing happened last time where my passport was seized. I have committed no offense, and there is no order from the court to withhold my passport and deny me traveling. The last time this happened, the officer in charge told us that the Senate President, Gospel Akpabio, instructed them to withhold my passport and prevent me from traveling because he said each time I travel out of the country, I smear the country's image by granting interviews out in public.
Interesting. According to her, the Senate President asked them to hold a passport, and this is not the first time it's happening. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at people's reaction about this particular story. This person says, while I respect Senator Natasha, a response to these issues was disappointing. As a high-ranking official, she should have used private diplomatic channels of the passport seizure, not social media videos. Interesting. Let's take a look at another reaction. Parrots Bulletin says, this is truly embarrassing. Having a passport of a serving senator seized not because she's committed a crime, but for her courage to speak truth to power. And the immigration is actually carrying out Akpabio's order. What a shameful institution. Okay, let's take a look at another reaction. Ovi says, if this is true, then it is clear case of abuse of power. No one should be stopped from traveling simply because of political differences. This is democracy, not dictatorship. Interesting. Let's look at another reaction. This other person, Jaren, says, that is really troubling if true. No senator should have their passports seized without due legal process. This kind of incident only raises more questions about abuse of power and personal vendettas. Let's take a look at another reaction. This other person says, this is pure political witch hunt, nothing else. How can a sitting senator be treated like a flight risk just because she speaks her mind? So freedom of movement is now a privilege, not just a right. Nigeria has turned into a place where truth is seen as a threat and courage is punished. Interesting. Okay, this is from Yayaba. Yayaba says, but if this is true, the reason they gave is valid. She always tarnished the country's image wherever she traveled, and we are not ready for a drama, especially now that we are facing threats from the U.S. Interesting. Okay, that is for that. They said, according to her, Gospel Akpabio said, whenever she travels out of the country, she always, grants foreign interviewers. She always go for foreign interview and speak about Nigeria. And he doesn't want that to happen because he doesn't want any trouble. And that is the reason why they seized her passport. But thank God they gave it to her back yesterday, after all the drama, the video, and the rest. All right, the next story we would be talking about today is what happened at the Senate, what happened yesterday, about the Senate president, concerning the Senate president and the vice president. The vice president was actually telling the Senate president that if you're scared of Trump, I am not scared of him. Because the Senate president made a statement and said that, who am I to be talking about Trump like that? You know, this is not the concern. This is not what we should be talking about in the country. And it has got a lot of people talking, saying at this point, this is what we need. You shouldn't say that it is not a concern. It is actually one of the major problems now we are currently facing in the country, the issue of insecurity. And it has got, like I said earlier, it has got a lot of people talking. You know, the vice president says, if you are afraid of Trump, I am not afraid of him. Let's take a look at the video, of course, before we see the reaction.
What I'm saying is that you shouldn't be scared of saying anything.
No, if you want me to say it now, I will say. I will say. Should I say?
We're not scared of Trump.
I will say, but then listen.
We're a sovereign nation. We're not scared of Trump.
I can only say what is discussed.
And he's saying lies about our country. What he's saying about our country is not correct. And we have the right to dispute what he said.
Clark, please delete what the Deputy Senate President has said. He spoke out of tune. Olamilekan, don't encourage the Senate President or the Deputy Senate President to breach our rules. That's not the issue in discussion. Bring the section of the act.
I mean, this particular issue has been trending all over social media. The issue of our president and Trump, you know, talking to his military personnel to come to Nigeria to help, you know, solve the problem of insecurity, Christian genocide, and all of that. And it has got a lot of people talking on social media. Let's take a look at people's reaction. Okay, this person says, Trump warned against terrorists and Nigerian government officials are going crazy. This tells you that they sponsor the killings. Shame on them. The U.S. will come and nothing will happen. Make them cuckoo take over from this evil politician. Okay, this other person says, our lawmakers and politicians are mute because they are afraid of access freeze and visa revocation. But we, the army of dignified, can say this to the world. Let's take a look at another reaction. Playboy Cartel says, only one tweet from Trump, the whole Nigerians is shaking. People posting content, the leaders are fighting themselves. Just a tweet. What if he strike? What will then happen? Okay, Life of Ian says, how do you all expect this country to be better? See how the senators are just laughing. They have turned the house to house of comedy. Let's take a look at another reaction. This other person says, they have turned issues bothering the nation into laughing matters. Nothing can take Nigerians serious. Nobody can take Nigerians serious. All right, this other person says, shamelessly saying this, not what we are discussing right now. What else should we be discussing to such critical times? I beg. This person is asking the question. At this critical time, what else should we be discussing if not this trending issues? Because these issues have been trending, you know, the issue of insecurity, and some pastors came out on the internet to cry to the U.S. President Donald Trump, to please come to our aid. And now President Donald Trump is saying it's coming, and a lot of people are saying that, you know, some persons are against it, while some persons are saying, please come and save our land. We are going through a lot in this country. And it has got a lot of people sending messages to the president saying, if you keep your house in order, you know, another president from another country would not come and says, I want to come and help you. And also some presidents are saying that, you know, for the fact that Donald Trump is coming to Nigeria to help, it's not just coming to help for free. There is definitely going to be a price to pay. All right, this is all we've got for you on my socials this morning. I want to say a very big thank you for joining or watching us on TMI this beautiful morning from our Lagos Network Studio, Benin Network Studio, and Abuja Network Studio. Thank you so much for watching, and do stay safe out there.